Why is there an internet? Sometimes you have to ask yourself that. Why? Why is this a thing? How are there people out there that are really this fucking dumb? Please explain it to me. I don't understand. This has to be a troll. Scientific American. We're going to get into this. What is going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and this article right here from Scientific American. Opinion. Why the term Jedi is problematic for describing programs that promote justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. And properly, it's getting ratioed. It's getting ratioed hard. There's somehow 147 idiots in the world who liked this tweet. There's 552 that have quote tweeted it. Almost all of them disagreed. Not all of them. And there's about 869 comments. It is getting properly ratioed. I got tagged in this yesterday. Bweezy Bird. Shout out to my man Bweezy Bird for that tag. Really appreciate it. Had a couple people send it to me. And of course, now we have a Bounding into Comics article on it. This is literal insanity. The people who look to be offended by anything and everything, the people who want to go out of their way and cancel Star Wars because they don't think it's diverse enough. It didn't have this. It didn't have that. Wherein we know that Star Wars, the way it was, not with Disney Star Wars, but Star Wars the way it was inclusive. It had people of all sorts of backgrounds, not only in the films, but also as fans of these films, fans of the books, fans of the comics, fans of the video games. But no. Everything needs to be changed. You need to try to say, well, this was wrong. This happened in the past and this was wrong. George Lucas wasn't woke enough when he made this. That's where all this insanity stems from. The American scientists declared Jedi are inappropriate mascots for social justice. Well, you know what? Good for Jedi. Good for Jedi that they don't have to get dragged into this social justice fucking nonsense. J.W. Hammond, Sarah E. Brownell, Nita A. Kernharthath, Susan J. Chang, and W. Carson Boyd penned an article headline, Why the Term Jedi is Problematic for Describing Programs that Promote Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. You need 5 people to write an article like this. Holy fuck. In the article, they note that Jedi is being used as an acronym to stand for Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. However, they take issue with the acronym because of its associations with the Jedi of the Star Wars universe and that they're inappropriate for social justice. As for why, they immediately point to race. They're a religious order of intergalactic police monks prone to white saviorism and toxically masculine approaches to conflict resolution. Violent duels with phallic lightsabers, gaslighting by means of Jedi mind tricks, etc. This reads like a parody. This reads like Babylon Bee wrote this, but it's not. What is this publication again? Scientific American? Scientific American with 4 million followers. Awesome discoveries, expert insights, science that shapes the world. Say, Jedi bad because their lightsabers look like a penis. That's what this is saying. The Jedi are also an exclusionary cult, members to which is partly predicated on the possession of heightened psychic and physical abilities or force sensitivity. First off, it's unclear why the Jedi, being a religious order, is wrong or acting like a police force is wrong. Seems to be a reflection of the author's views. Secondly, the claim of white saviorism rings hollow, given one of the main leaders, of course, Mace Windu. Thirdly, while some of them claim to be fans of Star Wars, it's obvious that they didn't pay attention to the movies. In Phantom Menace, the Jedi are sent to peaceably resolve the trade dispute, of course. The people who say that, who can't back it up, who can't sit there and prove how they're Star Wars fans, aren't Star Wars fans. You might want to get excited about it. You might pretend to be caught up in the hype, but you're not. Otherwise, you wouldn't have written an article like this. It wouldn't have taken 5 of you dumb motherfuckers to write an article like this. But go on about violent duels and toxically masculine approaches, whatever that means. After making these ridiculous claims, they make more. Strikingly, force-wielding talents are narratively explained in Star Wars, not merely in spiritual terms, but in ableist and eugenic ones. These supernatural powers are naturalized as biology, hereditary attributes. So it is that force potential is framed as a dynastic property of noble bloodlines, for example, the Skywalker dynasty, and force disparities are rendered innate physical properties measurable via midichlorian counts. Not unlike a force genetics test, and augmentable via humanoid engineering. They then conclude the heroic Jedi are thus emblems for a host of dangerously reactionary values and assumptions. Sending the message that justice work is akin to cosplay is bad enough. Dressing up in our initiatives in that symbolic garb of the Jedi is worse. It's so dumb. It's so stupid that anyone would waste five people who are evidently very well educated, apparently, waste their times coming up with something like this to explain why this science fantasy movie, holy shit. What are we dealing with? Scientific American came out with this. They also talk about, of course, they talk about Leia. They say, oh no, Star Wars has a problematic cultural legacy. This space opera franchise has been critiqued for trafficking in injustices such as sexism, racism, and ableism. Think, for example, the so-called slave Leia costume, infamous for stripping down and chaining up the movie series' first leading woman as part of an Orientalist subplot. This is the definition of like finding racism, finding sexism, literally anywhere you try to look for it. Anywhere you look hard enough, these types of people will find it. This is insane. They're saying that Jabba is supposed to be Arab or something. I can't even begin to process why this is happening or where this is coming from. Back to racism, they claim. What's more, the bodies and voices centered in Star Wars have, with a few exceptions, historically been those of white men. And while recent films have increased gender and racial diversity, important questions remain regarding how meaningfully such changes represent a departure from the series' problematic past. Why do they always forget Lando and Mace Windu and James Earl Jones? Why do you forget these characters? Just because they're not characters that you think are important, a lot of people do. A lot of people love those characters. A lot of people who are white love Lando Calrissian. Matt Wilkins, one of my favorite Star Wars channels, Matt Wilkins, who talks about the expanded universe, his favorite character is Lando. It's not because he looks like him. Shocker, Matt is a white dude. But one of his favorite all-time characters is Lando Calrissian. These people are insane. These people need to be called out. These people need to be embarrassed and shamed, just like we have happening right now. Luckily, at least on Twitter, they got absolutely fucking embarrassed. A couple people that I did see supporting this, like this person, Laura Helmuth, who was she involved in writing of this? I don't know. She's getting ratioed, rightly so, because she is an idiot. The whole thing is so good, and it makes an important points, while also being a lot of fun to read. How we brand an initiative can shape perceptions and feeling about that initiative and about who belongs in it. And if any Star Wars fans bristle, that's part of the author's point. These people are lunatics. Gatekeep like your hobbies depend on them, because they do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.